Hey there, and welcome to today's deep dive.
Ever find yourself wondering,
Aptly
if this whole mental health thing,
is a modern invention.
we're diving into what defines mental health,
How different cultures and belief systems view it.
and even taking a look at some ancient wisdom from the Bible.
Ready to unlock some mental mastery.
Absolutely. Mental health is something humans have grappled with for centuries.
Today, we'll uncover some truly fascinating perspectives on well-being.
Okay, so before we journey across cultures and back in time,
Let's start with the basics.
what does it actually mean?
To have good mental health in today's world.
It's a great question.
And you're right to start there.
Mind, a prominent mental health charity,
Offers a pretty solid definition.
they describe it as being generally able to think, feel, and react in ways that you need and want to live your life.
Think, feel, and react.
I like that.
It's almost like having a toolbox of mental skills to navigate daily life.
Wouldn't you say?
Precisely.
And just like any toolbox,
The tools we need might differ depending on the task at hand.
but the core idea is having the capacity to handle life's ups and downs.
To cope with stress, build relationships,
All those things that contribute to a fulfilling life.
which, let's be honest,
Well, it looks different for everyone, right?
my version of fulfilling might be your idea of chaos and vice versa.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting.
Just like our definitions of a fulfilling life vary.
So too do our understandings of mental health itself.
It's shaped by our upbringing, our culture, our beliefs.
It's deeply personal.
So it's not as simple as just saying,
Okay, here's the checklist for good mental health. Everyone follow along.
not at all.
In fact, even the term mental health,
Doesn't resonate with everyone.
Mind acknowledges that some people prefer phrases like emotional well-being.
Or even just feeling able to cope.
Language itself can influence how we approach these concepts.
That's fascinating.
It's a reminder that there's no one-size-fits-all, right?
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
What matters is finding what resonates with you.
What feels authentic to your own experience?
So if our understanding of mental health is so personal,
I'm guessing how different cultures view it.
must be really diverse.
You guessed right.
Take, for example,
How some Eastern philosophies approach mental well-being.
they often emphasize the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit.
And see mental distress as an imbalance in this system.
It's like that saying.
Everything's connected.
Exactly.
And in some indigenous cultures,
Mental health is deeply intertwined with one's relationship to their community and the natural world.
there's a focus on collective healing and seeking wisdom from elders.
That's so different from the individualistic approach often seen in Western societies.
It is.
And it highlights the importance of approaching mental health with cultural sensitivity.
And recognizing that what works for one group might not work for another.
It's all about broadening our perspectives.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of which,
You mentioned finding wisdom in unexpected places.
what about the Bible?
You had mentioned a quote about mental wellness.
Absolutely.
It's from 3 John 1.2.
And it says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers."
Wow.
Prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers.
That's powerful.
It feels like it's acknowledging that our mental and spiritual states are linked.
That's exactly how many scholars interpret it.
It suggests that nurturing our spiritual well-being
Whether through faith, meditation, or connecting with something bigger than ourselves,
that can positively impact our overall health.
including our mental state.
It's like that sense of peace you feel when you're truly aligned with your values and beliefs.
Yes.
And it reminds us that mental mastery isn't just about controlling our thoughts and emotions.
But also about cultivating a sense of inner peace and purpose.
It's about taking care of the whole package.
Mind, body, and spirit.
Precisely.
And while we've explored these diverse perspectives,
It's important to remember that mental health challenges are incredibly common.
regardless of culture or beliefs,
You're right. I remember reading that Mind reports roughly 1 in 4 people.
experiencing a mental health problem each year.
That's a huge chunk of the population.
And it reinforces the idea that these are shared human experiences.
Not individual failings.
Absolutely.
It's not a sign of weakness to struggle.
And there's no shame in seeking help.
Exactly.
And just like with physical health,
Early intervention can make a world of difference.
so what advice would you give to someone who might be struggling but unsure where to turn? It can feel overwhelming, right?
Like, where do you even begin?
It definitely can.
But the first step is often the hardest.
Acknowledging you need support,
From there,
you can explore different avenues.
like talking to a therapist or counselor
It's like having a guide.
to help you navigate those mental roadblocks.
Exactly.
They can provide tools and strategies tailored to your specific needs.
And don't underestimate the power of support groups.
Connecting with others who get it can be incredibly validating.
It's like that feeling of
Okay, I'm not alone in this.
precisely.
And remember those resources we mentioned earlier.
Organizations like Mind offer a wealth of information and support services.
From what I understand,
They even have helplines you can call or text.
if you need someone to talk to right away,
They do.
it's about finding what works best for you.
Whether that's one-on-one therapy, group settings, or online resources.
Well, the key is to remember you don't have to go through this alone.
This whole conversation has been such an eye-opener.
We've gone from defining mental health
To exploring its cultural nuances.
and even touched on the spiritual dimension,
It's been a journey.
hasn't it?
And I think it highlights the beauty of a deep dive.
Uncovering those hidden connections and gaining a richer understanding of seemingly complex topics.
So as we wrap up,
What's one key takeaway you hope our listener walks away with today?
that mental mastery is an ongoing process.
Not a destination.
Be kind to yourself
Embrace the journey.
and never hesitate to seek support when you need it.
What a powerful message.
Taking care of our mental well-being is a lifelong endeavor.
And there are resources and amazing support systems available every step of the way.
You are not alone. So, until next time,
Keep those minds curious and remember,
taking care of your mental health is a sign of strength.